will ask him to put soul on the day of resurrection, and he will not be able to do it. This answer, whether to make images, statues, sculptures, drawing, painting, has been dealt with me in detail in the earlier answer. And there are several hadith in Bukhari, Muslim, and various Sahih hadith. I will not go into details because the answer will become very long. But in short, in Islam, it is prohibited for anyone to make images, whether painting, whether drawing, whether sculpture, whether it be statues of animate things or of living creatures from the animal kingdom, whether they be human beings, whether they be animals, birds, insects, fish, etc. All these are prohibited. And there are various evidence which we won't go into the detail. Now coming to this question of what's happened in Bangladesh, that the government had decided to make a statue of a person who's very famous and had supposed to be done by the government, has done good work. So that's the reason they want to revere him and respect him and build a statue. And now the community is divided. Some who are more secular minded are saying that it is okay, we aren't worshipping the statue, just because he did good deeds, we are just revering and out of respect we are making it. And the other group is saying Islamically it's prohibited to make a statue of human beings or of animals or birds, etc. And the statue should be broken. But natural, the first group of people are not following the rules of the Quran and Sunnah. And as I mentioned earlier, that there are various hadith in Bukhari and Muslim which prohibits a Muslim to make a statue of a human being or an animal or of a bird, of insects, etc. So based on this, the second group of Muslims in Bangladesh are more correct. And regarding should it be broken, the idols, there are various hadiths. And we know that Prophet Muhammad, when he returned to Makkah, after Fateh Makkah, the first thing he did was he went to Kaaba, and there were about 360 idols in Kaaba. And he went into it and he broke the idols, reciting the verse of the Quran of Surah Isra, chapter number 17, verse number 81, where he recited and he said, وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَاقَ الْبَاطِلِ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. When truth is heard against falsehood, falsehood perishes. For falsehood is by its nature bound to perish. So the Prophet recited the verse of the Quran of Surah Isra, chapter 17, verse number 81, and broke the idols. And in an Islamic country, where the Islamic law has to be followed, this is the ruling that a statue or an idol of human beings or of animals or of birds, etc. cannot be made. And if it is there, the Islamic ruling is that it should be broken. And that's what the Prophet had told the Sahabas. And there are various hadith in Bukhari, in Muslim, where the Sahabas have been instructed by the Prophet to break the statue. And even according to the fatwa of Ibn Taymiyyah, Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah says that the statue should be broken, especially if they fall in the two categories. If it's of a deceased person, of a person who has died, or if the statue is put on the grave, it should be broken. So I do agree with the second group that Islamically it's not correct to make statue of anyone. If you have to make of people who you think are good, then but natural, there's no one better than the Prophet. And but natural making an image or a statue of Prophet is prohibited. Then will come the Khulafa Rashidin, then will come the Sahabas, and you never find anywhere in the Islamic world any statue has been made of the Prophet or the Khulafa Rashidin or of the Sahabas. So this is totally un-Islamic, and this thing should not happen. And my advice would be that they should not do it. They should not make statue of any living creature, any living human being, even if he was a person who has to be respected. But making statue in Islam is haram, and I do agree with the second group, this should not happen. And if it's there, these statues should be broken. Hope that answers the question.